Look at a traditional, handwritten medical prescription or lab order. It's chaotic, often completely illegible. Relying on ink and paper for critical healthcare decisions introduces an immediate, undeniable layer of risk to patient safety. Analog healthcare data is inherently error-prone and misinterpreted by those downstream. Because paper records are structurally isolated, a chart in one wing cannot share information with the pharmacy or the billing department without manual, physical intervention. The modern alternative is structured data. By forcing medical information into standardized, universally readable digital formats, a hospital ensures that every department speaks the exact same language. Computerized provider order entry, or CPOE, provides the mechanism to capture this information. It is the specific interface that allows healthcare providers to enter structured data directly into a patient's electronic health record. CPOE serves as the system architecture for modern medicine. This framework is designed to verify clinical safety, provide the documentation required for insurance reimbursement, and meet federal regulatory standards. Maintaining financial solvency and passing modern regulatory audits requires a facility to move beyond manual entry and adopt a fully integrated CPOE system. We can track the journey of a clinical order through a highly specific 10-step workflow, which is divided into 3 distinct phases. This flowchart maps the entire journey of an order. It documents the exact path a piece of data takes, starting from the healthcare provider's initial input and ending at the patient portal. Phase 1 covers the initiation and processing of the order. This includes the provider creating the command and the receiving department, such as a lab or pharmacy, accepting it. Phase 2 manages interoperability and data flow. This sequence involves transmitting completed results back into the main system and routing them to the ordering physician. Finally, Phase 3 covers patient access. This is the final destination for the structured data as it becomes visible to the individual receiving care. The primary operational duty of the Certified Electronic Health Record Specialist is to master the precise mechanics of this 10-step pipeline. These first 4 steps of the CPOE process document the moment a provider initiates a test, medication, or referral, followed by the receipt of that order by the destination department. To increase efficiency, providers utilize order sets. These group multiple standard, related medical orders into a single digital action, allowing a physician to trigger an entire protocol simultaneously. As the structured data moves through nodes 2, 3, and 4, it triggers physical actions, alerting the lab, instructing the patient to arrive for their test, and dictating exactly how the department processes the order. Order sets do not program themselves into the interface. They require precise configuration behind the scenes. The EHR specialist builds and maintains this environment by assisting medical providers in the creation of these sets. They then perform rigorous testing to ensure every order meets clinical guidelines and payer standards before execution. The objective of Phase 1 is to convert clinical intent into an optimized, error-free command that the entire hospital network can recognize and act upon. Steps 5 through 8 address a critical transition point. Once results are documented, the data must be transmitted back to the provider and posted to the electronic health record. This exchange is made possible by interoperability, the ability of isolated computer systems to successfully talk to each other and share usable data. This computer-to-computer communication is governed by the Health Level 7, or HL7 standard. This protocol provides the mandatory rules that allow diverse systems to share information without corruption. Steps 6 and 7 show the result of this protocol: the secure transmission of results and the permanent posting of that data into the patient's individual EHR. In Step 8, the loop closes for the physician. The healthcare provider reviews the fully integrated results within the system, ensuring the data is attached to the correct patient file. Without the HL7 standard facilitating this exchange, CPOE is merely a system for isolated data entry. Interoperability transforms these entries into a functional, hospital-wide network. Hospitals invest millions to build this 10-step architecture because of specific financial and regulatory pressures. The Federal Meaningful Use Program provided a financial incentive of $62,250 over 5 years, per doctor, for utilizing CPOE systems. This financial incentive is balanced by a regulatory framework. A matrix of federal and state agencies dictates how healthcare data must be protected and documented. The Joint Commission serves as the ultimate auditor of these workflows, reviewing all administrative and clinical procedures to ensure accreditation standards are met. These regulatory bodies conduct unannounced reviews. They scrutinize clinical documentation and verify that provider communication meets federal standards. A functioning CPOE system serves as the primary defense against failed audits, regulatory fines, and the denial of insurance payer reimbursements. Steps 9 and 10 illustrate the final destination for structured data, closing the information loop with the patient. In Step 9, the results, now fully processed, transmitted via HL7 and reviewed by the physician, become available within the EHR's external-facing system. In Step 10, the patient accesses their results through the patient portal, completing the 10-step cycle. Providing patients with direct access to structured data improves overall clinical safety, prevents duplicate testing, and ensures systemic transparency. This flowchart represents the complete transformation of a single medical order through an interoperable system. We have seen an initial intent translated into structured data, routed through separate departments via HL7, audited for compliance, and delivered to the patient. The ultimate byproduct of this architecture is clinical decision support. The system actively analyzes this data to help doctors make safer, faster decisions. The EHR specialist is responsible for building and maintaining this workflow to satisfy the demands of interoperability and compliance. The management of electronic health records functions as the central nervous system that keeps a modern healthcare facility compliant, profitable, and safe.